Welcome to Micah's Boutique Fashion and More. And today our subject matter is going to be integrating Western and holistic medicines. And today my guest is Rachel Hill. She is a family nurse practitioner. She's also an advanced holistic nurse practitioner, board certified holistic nurse and coach. And Rachel is about to get her doctorates in nursing with an emphasis on psychology. So please welcome my good friend, Rachel Hill. Rachel, thank you so much for being here. I know it's the evening time, and I'm always honored that my guests are able to come out and sacrifice their time to be on our show. But I want to get right to it. How do you feel about mind, body, spirit when people ask about that in terms of health care?
Well, Andrea, for me, body, mind, spirit means looking at the whole entire being whenever I address a patient. It's not that I'm just treating the body. There's a spirit that's involved. There's a mind that's involved. And as long as healthcare practitioners will look at the whole person, the person can achieve optimal health and wellness.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Now, my next question is, how do you feel about the different diets that are going on? I mean, I'm a vegetarian, and a lot of my friends are trying veganism, which, by the way, I don't think I would be able to do it. But people are in the mindset of being more healthier, trying to do healthier things. What is your feeling about all of that?
I'm glad you asked that question. Whenever I think of diets, of course I don't think of it as a diet. I think of it as a way of eating, and and we call it WOW. So there's so many different ways that a person can nourish themselves. I've done vegetarian before. We've done that together. Right now, I personally practice a ketogenic lifestyle, but I think people are different. Some people who practice as vegans may not necessarily require a vegan diet, may need something else. So I think with healthcare supervision, people can find what works for them. If it gives you energy, if it gives you life, if you're eating whole foods, clean foods, not a lot of processed foods and things like that, I think any way you go, you're on the right track.
Wonderful. My next question would be, Rachel, how do you integrate holistic care? Because, a lot of people that I know, not everyone, they're getting away from medicines that are prescribed. They want to do things naturally, natural ways to, moisten our skin, natural ways to brush our teeth. So holistic, healthy, what is your take on that? And maybe I'm saying it wrong, so correct me.
Well, actually, I get exactly what you're saying. As far as the way that I, as a healthcare practitioner, integrate holistic wellness in my care, say, for instance, in the mental health setting, I'll have my patients meditate. I'll have my patient utilize fish oil and other supplements that are good for them. I'll have my patients do yoga, Kundalini yoga, or something that integrates so that they don't always have to turn to a pill. Even though there is a path, people may take medicine and it may be required to help sustain them, but the way that I integrate is offer them other things that would actually complement and enhance. In the internal medicine setting, I have people do yoga, I have people practice whole foods and things like that as well. So there are so many different ways. When I worked at Truman, which is where we met.
Absolutely.
My master's thesis was on Jinshin Jitsu, which is Japanese acupressure and quality of life in the adult sickle cell patient. And there I got a chance to really explore, energetic touch and therapeutic touch with patients who have chronic pain illnesses. So there are so many ways I integrate. To answer your question, I integrate holistic medicine into every single aspect of my care with patients. Because it gets back to the mind, body, spirit aspect where we're meeting the whole needs.
I almost wonder if healthcare versus holistic, or they work together, or are most people, when they think of holistic, they think of natural, or they think of healthcare, they think of prescribed medication. So that's a good way to kind of integrate both of them, so that way you don't feel like you want doing one over the other.
Right. And some people feel like they need to make a choice, and I like to compare it to childbirth, where some women may have a natural childbirth, and some women may use an epidural, and some women may use Lamaze. There's no right or wrong. It's just the path that the person takes, and that's what I say. If medicine is your path and you have to take medicine, we can help you with that. But there's other options that you can take, and if you want to go the natural route, you have the right to do so. But I represent the integration of both.
Awesome. So that brings me back to another question about supplements. Again, it's the natural versus the pill form. And so what are your thoughts on that? I knew that I try to take, and it's hard because I'm not very good at taking consistently every day, but I try to take, my vitamins, or at least one vitamin a day. But then, of course, I'm always trying to watch what I eat, the kinds of food I'm eating, whether it's vegetables or like today I had spinach and kale lasagna, or, no meat for me, but there's just so many different things that you can do to substitute that.
Right.
So the supplements, great substitution, not so great substitution. What is your thoughts?
Well, you know what? I stand right in the middle of that also. I feel like food should be the first source of our supplementation. Let medicine be your food. But the farming practices that we have these days, we may not be getting all the nutrients that we think we get when we go to the grocery store unless we grow the plant and watch it grow ourselves. So basically, I would say that supplementation is good. You have to definitely be careful and know what type of supplements that you're taking. Make sure that they're the right kind of supplements and that they're not something that is just going straight through your body into the toilet, if I can be frank. We have the most expensive urine in the world. There are so many different vitamins that are out.
Most expensive urine,
most expensive urine in the world. And I've had patients that, some of my senior patients that have purchased every vitamin that Dr. Oz has in their cabinet, and there's no way to consume all that. So your body will be your guide, essentially. But, if you're on medication, check with your doctor about the supplements to take. Most of the time, physicians will know, or your nurse practitioners will know, but sometimes they don't. And then you may need to consult someone like me, a holistic nurse practitioner, who's aware of medicine and side effects and things like that, so that you can do adequate supplementation. But I would say because of our diets, we may not get all the supplements we need. So I think supplementation is a good thing.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'll have to keep that in mind because, like I said, I'm not the best taking them every day, but I know I try to get something in every day.
And chocolate's not a supplement, Andrea.
Yeah, you're telling on me. Anyway, so I wanted to also ask a couple more questions.
Sure, absolutely.
Just myself, I go to a personal trainer, and we got into discussion about the kinds of foods I eat opposed to the amount of exercise I get. Because I do try to exercise regularly. It's very hard with my schedule, but I'm trying to get it in some kind of way. So his response to me was, you can eat whatever you want, but as long as you exercise. And I was like, no, it doesn't sound right. And my take was, you have to watch the nutrition and then, of course, do the exercise. But I didn't think that you could just eat whatever you want and then exercise. Tell me, what do you think about that? I mean, that's just my thoughts.
Who is your personal trainer? I don't want to put him on blast. Well, my trainer is Troy Groves. So let me tell you, I started working out last year with my personal trainer, Troy Groves, and I was working out up to 5 times a week, 5 days a week. And it was pretty interesting because I wasn't seeing the gains and things. I was staying the same weight. I wasn't really focused on weight, but I just wasn't achieving the optimal benefits. But he gave me a sit down like, Rachel, you have to watch how much you rest. You have to watch what you eat. You have to actually use those in conjunction with exercise. And, I was doing like Krispy Kreme on the down low and things like that. Diet high in carbs. I wasn't getting enough protein. And I thought I was eating like a well-balanced diet for the most part, but I was doing some lifting and things like that. And your body has to rebuild, and it can only rebuild with the food that you put in it and the nourishment that you put in it. So he really opened my eyes to, going back to the drawing board, because what I learned in school is not accurate as far as it comes to nutrition and everything. And it's like having the adequate proteins in your diet. Even if you're vegetarian, you still have to have adequate protein and things like that in your diet to build muscle. And then you have to have adequate rest. And so I give a shout out to him because, even though I'm a healthcare professional, I don't know everything, or even if I know it, I just push it back and just think about something else. So to answer your question, I think that diet and exercise are equally important. Because, if you consume too much, it leads to obesity. And look at our nation. Look at the obesity rates that we have. Exercise, you've got to move something, and healthy is not being thin. It's not, being Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, I almost said
that's
something.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me. I mean, we're going to be wrapping up in just a second, but what would be something that is one of the most important things that you would want to come across to someone who may be struggling a bit with nutrition? And trying to balance it, how would they best figure that out? I mean, I know that you got the fat count, you got this, you got that, you're not running to the doctors every day, but on a daily basis, what should your routine kind of look like? Just the basic routine for you, just taking care of yourself, eating the right foods. Is it still the 5 food sources, or maybe we should have more protein if we are vegetarians? And I guess I'm looking just for basic information for a lot of people that are maybe struggling a little bit with nutrition. What do I eat? I don't know what to eat all the time.
Gotcha. And that is a tough question, and it requires more time to really get to the meat of that. But I will say that the best answer is to, I forgot the question.
That's
Yes.
okay. What would be one of the lasting things, or one of the most important things you would want to tell someone about taking care of themselves and nutrition?
Okay. What I would tell someone is eat to feel good, not eat to lose weight. That is first and foremost. Throw the scales away and just eat to feel good. Because if you eat to feel good, you're going to eat the things that your body wants and craves. And though you may think sugars and processed foods are what you want and what you're craving, try putting some whole foods into your body and see how you feel after that, and see what your body actually craves. I think the key to nutrition is cutting down on sugars, cutting down on the processed foods and things like that, and that creates a baseline for people to actually thrive and actually, when they go through their sugar withdrawals and things like that, actually gives them a groundwork for living where they can actually feel like a real person again. So many times, we have like high fat, high sugar diets and things like that, and I don't want to say high fat in the sense of the fats that I take in, like high fat as in just a lot of stuff that's not good, fried foods and things like that aren't beneficial for you. Moderation and just eliminating those, and just making sure that you get exercise and things in your in your daily regimen. Meditation, if you have a spiritual practice,
awesome.
Take that in, hug somebody, hug a bunch of bodies and things like that, and make sure you're giving service to people, and to me that makes a complete whole human being.
Awesome. So there you have it. Examples of how to integrate holistic and Western medicine. I want to now thank Miss Rachel for coming out. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. And also, I want to share this opportunity to tell you again, here at Micah's Boutique, we are so determined and dedicated to bring you information that will help you from the inside and the outside. So please like and share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stop by Micah's, where you can find a whole new attitude at half the price. Until next time, bye-bye.